Chosen one, stop. I am not asking you to listen today. I am warning you. Do not dare scroll past this message. What I am about to expose was sealed in the courts of heaven until this exact second. You are currently standing at the most dangerous intersection of your timeline, and the enemy has set a trap disguised as an ordinary week. He is amplifying your fear because he knows he cannot stop what is coming, and he can only hope you sabotage it yourself before it arrives. Tomorrow is Monday, but the horror you are dreading for tomorrow is actually unfolding right now on this Sunday. The enemy is working overtime this weekend for one reason only. He wants to hijack your frequency before the new week begins. I need you to stay until the very end of this message. I am going to hand you the prophetic revelation that cancels every single assignment launched against your destiny today. If you scroll away now, you are walking back onto the battlefield without your armor, leaving your timeline completely exposed to the attacks planned for tomorrow. Heaven dispatched this warning directly to your screen. Listen with your soul. Your breakthrough depends on your obedience right now. Take a deep breath and anchor your spirit to my voice. That quiet exhaustion you have been carrying in your bones recently is not normal. It is the kind of tired that sleep simply cannot fix. Stop dismissing it. You have spent the last few days wondering why you feel so incredibly drained and why the atmosphere around you feels so heavy and suffocating. You feel a strange pressure in your chest. You want to isolate yourself from everyone and everything. You thought it was just the stress of the approaching week. You thought you were losing your edge. But I am here to reframe your reality right now. That is not just anxiety or daily stress. That is intense spiritual discernment. Your spirit has been working overtime in the unseen realm. You are fighting battles you cannot even see with your physical eyes. You are shielding people who do not even know they are under attack, absorbing the blows meant for them, while your own energy is completely depleted. Heaven brought you to this message today to give you the exact explanation for the warfare you are experiencing. You are not a regular human living a difficult life. You are a celestial warrior operating in enemy territory. You are the watchman. You stand sentinel over something sacred. And the enemy is terrified of the power you hold when you are fully awake. He knows that if he can cloud your mind on Sunday, he can ruin your alignment for Monday. He sends sudden distractions. He sends sudden arguments out of nowhere. He creates a dense fog in your mind so you cannot hear the clear instructions from heaven. Have you noticed how hard it is to focus lately? Have you noticed how your memory slips, or how you just want to sit in absolute silence? That silence is not a weakness. It is your spirit demanding a recalibration before the next season begins. The Monday horror they want you to fear is an illusion. It is a counterfeit reality designed to lower your vibration. The enemy wants you to wake up tomorrow feeling defeated before your feet even touch the floor. He wants you to carry yesterday's heavy frequency into tomorrow's divine appointment, effectively blinding you to the open doors that heaven has placed before you. But heaven is intercepting that plan right now. God is exposing the hidden agenda of the darkness. You did not find this message by accident. This is divine intervention. The universe has your back, and it is sending you the exact blueprint to navigate this shift. I am going to reveal the specific identity you carry that makes hell so terrified of you. Do not let your mind wander. Lock in completely. Your future self is begging you to hear this profound truth. Let us look closer at what you survived this week. People you trusted suddenly acted strange. Plans fell apart at the last possible minute. You felt a deep, profound sense of loneliness, even when you were surrounded by others. The world told you that you are just being too sensitive, and they told you to push through and try harder to fit into their mold. But heaven does not want you to push. Heaven wants you to align. You have always been different. You have always carried a vision that others cannot see. And because of that, you have absorbed the emotional heavy lifting for everyone around you. You became the emotional sponge for toxic environments. That is why your physical body is aching right now. Your nervous system is recalibrating to handle a massive frequency shift, preparing your body for a supernatural elevation. Your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a highly advanced spiritual radar. You are picking up on the shift in the atmosphere. The heavy feeling is the weight of a massive transition happening in your life right now. You are standing on sacred ground. The old cycle is breaking and the new season is fighting to emerge. But before you can step into it, you must understand exactly what the enemy is trying to steal from your mind today. You woke up this weekend feeling completely disconnected from your own life. The air in your room feels thick. Your thoughts are moving through a dense fog. You try to remember your purpose. You try to pray. But your words feel like they are hitting a brass ceiling and falling right back down. Your mind simply refuses to focus on the things that used to bring you absolute joy. Society wants to label this condition with clinical words. They tell you it is just a chemical imbalance. They say you are simply burnt out from working too hard. But I need you to understand that heaven views this entirely differently, because you are experiencing a profound spiritual heaviness that is manifesting in your physical body. The enemy desperately wants you to believe you are permanently broken. The attack on your mind this weekend is highly coordinated. It is explicitly designed to make you completely surrender your divine authority before the new week even begins. Heaven is asking you to make a physical agreement right now. If you feel the intense spiritual warfare this weekend, type 777 to anchor your spirit. Let that simple action be your final declaration that you absolutely refuse to retreat. Now, I want to pause and hold something in front of you before we continue. Over the past few years, something incredible has been found in research laboratories. Most people who care about spiritual alignment have never been told about this discovery. Not because it contradicts what is sacred. It is simply because it came from a direction most of us are not watching at all. A small group of neuroscientists found something truly astonishing. A brilliant doctor in New York spent 20 years studying this exact phenomenon, and they discovered something about the way the human mind is designed that explains everything. It perfectly answers why spiritually sensitive people feel so drained, but have never been able to name the cause. I will tell you exactly what they found later in this message. But right now you need to hold this specific question in your heart. What if the reason your mind feels completely foggy is not age or lack of discipline? What if something was actually taken from you at the neural level? We will return to this soon. But first, you must understand the immediate danger surrounding this Sunday evening. The enemy knows your original design. He knows that you are the watchman. You were designed to stand sentinel over your family and your future. But a watchman cannot protect the gates if their internal receiver is constantly blocked. The enemy uses the relentless stress of the modern world to effectively jam your spiritual radar. He floods your immediate environment with noise and endless distractions, so you cannot possibly recognize the quiet voice of divine instruction. This is why the horror of Monday feels so overwhelming. It is a psychological projection created to steal your peace today. When you sit in dread about tomorrow, you are completely vacating your power in the present moment. God placed a massive blessing on this specific timeline, but you cannot receive a high-frequency blessing while operating in a low-frequency state of fear. You are a generational cycle breaker. Your bloodline is counting on your spiritual clarity. The confusion you feel right now is not your natural state. It is a foreign frequency attempting to overwrite your divine blueprint. Heaven wants to strip away this false survival identity. You were never meant to just survive the week. You were meant to absolutely dominate the atmosphere. But I know how hard it is to believe that right now, your physical body is tired. Your emotional bandwidth is completely stretched to the breaking point. You have given so much of your light to people who only understood darkness. They drained you and walked away. And now you are sitting here wondering if you have any strength left for the massive assignment ahead of you. Listen to me very carefully. You did not fail. Your heart was incredibly pure when you offered them grace. Your kindness was a beautiful reflection of heaven. But the enemy used their brokenness to secretly drain your vital energy reserves while you were trying to heal them. This weekend is the exact moment that massive drain finally catches up with your physical body. It is completely normal to feel this intense exhaustion. But the period of draining is officially over. Heaven is declaring a hard boundary around your energy field tonight. The spiritual warfare you feel right now is actually the enemy panicking. He is throwing everything at you because his access to your spirit is being permanently revoked. He sees the massive door of opportunity that is going to swing wide open for you in the coming days. He knows that once your mind is fully restored, you will be unstoppable. The fog will finally lift, the sharp clarity of your youth will return, and the divine synchronicities will begin to flow into your life with terrifying speed. You must guard your mind tonight. The battle for your week is being fought in the quiet moments of this very evening. Do not let him win. Let me reframe your reality right now. You have been reading the signs entirely backwards. You thought the resistance you feel today was a punishment for something you did wrong. You thought it was a delay. But here is the profound truth most people miss entirely. The enemy does not attack empty vessels. He only attacks the ones carrying massive divine weight. Think about David in the wilderness. He was already anointed to be king. The oil had already been poured over his head, yet he was sent back to the sheep. He was isolated and completely ignored by his own family. The world told him it was a massive demotion, but heaven called it sacred preparation. He had to learn the undeniable power of complete stillness. And this brings us to a hidden truth about your current situation. There is a specific reason why your desire for absolute silence has grown so strong lately. You just want to sit in a quiet room and shut out the entire world. Why does your silence absolutely terrify the dark entities assigned to your life? I will show you exactly why in just a moment. The enemy operates through chaos. He thrives on endless noise, constant distraction, and overwhelming confusion. When you are rushing through your week, your spirit is fragmented. You become highly reactive to every minor inconvenience around you. And a reactive mind is incredibly easy for the enemy to control and manipulate at his wicked will. But when you sit in silence, something miraculous begins to happen. Your spiritual frequency begins to shift. You stop reacting to the temporary illusions of the physical world. You start aligning with the eternal rhythm of heaven itself. The enemy hates your silence because he cannot penetrate a mind that is fully anchored in divine stillness. This is the exact reason why this weekend feels so incredibly heavy. Tomorrow marks the beginning of a new cycle. Heaven has orchestrated a divine appointment for you in the coming days. A massive door is waiting to be opened, and the enemy is desperately trying to disrupt your internal alignment before you walk through that specific door. He knows that if you enter Monday with a fragmented spirit, you will miss the subtle cues. You will miss the gentle nudges of the Holy Spirit. You will walk right past the exact opportunity that was designed to elevate your life. He wants to steal your harvest by destroying your synchronized state, but you are far too powerful to let him win. Remember the question I asked about your silence? Here is the profound truth heaven wants you to hear. Your silence is not a sign of weakness. Your silence is a lethal spiritual weapon. It is the exact space where your fragmented spirit pieces itself back together. It is where your God-given creative genius is fully restored and activated. When you embrace the quiet, you are cutting off the enemy's access. You are starving his endless distractions. You are building an impenetrable fortress around your mind. And that is exactly why he is fighting you so incredibly hard on this Sunday evening. He sees the fortress going up, He sees the divine authority returning to your posture. He is watching his influence completely evaporate. You are stepping into a season of unusual favor. The wilderness was never meant to be your permanent home. It was simply the crucible where your inner architecture was built. Heaven isolated you to protect you from toxic environments that could not travel with you to this next dimension. They were decoy lights. They were sent to derail your purpose. The enemy sent counterfeit connections to drain your vital energy. He sent false friends who only wanted to take advantage of your pure heart. But God exposed every single one of them. The isolation you feel right now is actually divine insulation. You have been hidden away so that you could be perfectly prepared for the heavy weight of glory. Do not resent the lonely days. Do not look back at those who walked away. Their departure was a necessary spiritual clearing. Your physical body is exhausted because you are carrying the mantle of a cycle breaker. You are literally pulling your entire bloodline out of generational bondage. That kind of spiritual warfare requires massive energy. This is why you must protect your peace tonight. You cannot afford to let minor annoyances trigger you. You cannot afford to engage in petty arguments. The enemy is constantly baiting you. He wants you to step out of your high frequency and roll in the mud with his low-level demons. Do not take the bait. Maintain your absolute stillness. Stay focused on the promise. The breakthrough is not just coming. The breakthrough is already here. It is hovering right above your timeline, and it is waiting for your internal receiver to be perfectly calibrated. Tomorrow is not a day of horror. Tomorrow is the day the scales tip in your favor. Prepare your heart for the massive shift. Now here is where it goes deeper, and this is the part almost no one wants to say out loud. You have been fighting this invisible battle for years, and you are exhausted from carrying a massive weight that was never yours to hold. You have prayed for the lifting to stop, but there is a specific pattern that plays out before your elevation. The enemy does not attack your weak areas because he is only terrified of the places where your divine power is truly hidden. He wants you to feel isolated and completely alone in this struggle. He wants you to think you are the only one losing your mind. But you are part of a massive remnant. Hit the like button right now. Do not do it for this channel. Do it so this specific warning reaches another watchman before Monday arrives. We must send a clear signal into the spiritual atmosphere that we are standing together in this fight, and we absolutely refuse to let the darkness isolate us anymore. Now I want to close the loop that has been open since the beginning of this message. I told you there was something found in research laboratories that I was going to come back to, and I want to tell you now why I waited until this exact moment to bring it forward. What they found is not just information. What they found is a tangible solution, and a powerful solution only becomes truly useful once you are able to fully understand the shape of the massive spiritual problem that it was designed to solve. You now understand the shape of the warfare against you. The enemy wants to block your divine receiver. Listen carefully, because this part is going to reach places inside you that you have never been able to put into words. Your spiritual exhaustion has a physical component. Your internal receiver has been jammed by the modern world, and this constant interference makes it difficult to hear the quiet voice of divine instruction. But that jammed state is absolutely restorable. What I am about to show you is going to connect your lived experience with something profound. It is going to explain something about your life that nothing else has quite explained before. You must remember that you are not permanently broken. You have simply been operating below your original design. You have been running the race while carrying invisible weights. And despite all the heavy resistance, you have still managed to outlast every single attack that the enemy sent to destroy your calling. But heaven is declaring that your survival mode is officially over. It is time to step out of the defense and move into the offense. You have played small for far too long. You have shrunk yourself to fit into rooms that were never designed to hold your magnitude. You apologized for your intense light because it made others deeply uncomfortable, and you mistakenly believed that dimming your brilliance would somehow bring peace to the toxic environments around you. Today, that wicked lie burns to the ground. You are absolutely never too much for heaven. They were simply too small for your profound anointing. The world could not handle the frequency you carry, so they labeled you as a very complicated person. They tried to convince you that you were overly sensitive, and the ultimate tragedy is that you actually started to believe their lies, doubting the very intuition that God placed inside your spirit to protect you from unseen danger. This is the hidden agreement you secretly made with the darkness. You agreed to hide your power just to keep the peace. You agreed to let them cross your boundaries because you honestly thought that was exactly what a good person should do. But your gentleness was never meant to be the ceiling. It was always meant to be the solid foundation. You were never meant to be tamed by the world because you were explicitly meant to be trusted by heaven. I need you to stay with me right here. Do not let your mind wander for a single second. The enemy does not want you to hear this next profound truth. The shift you are waiting for is not some distant future event. It is happening in your timeline right now. The rapid transition from this quiet Sunday into the absolute chaos of Monday is the exact threshold, and this is the vital testing ground where your spiritual authority must be firmly established. You have felt a deep yearning in your soul for absolute clarity. You know you are capable of so much more. You remember a time when your mind was incredibly sharp and your spirit felt completely free. The enemy actively stole that beautiful synchronized state. He used the stress of daily survival to systematically shut down the parts of you that can literally shift the atmosphere. He convinced you that the resulting heavy fog was just your permanent new normal. But heaven refuses to let you settle for a reduced version of your destiny. God is stripping away the survival identity right now. The years you spent alone were not a waste of time. They were the critical years when your inner architecture was being fortified against the inevitable future attacks. You were being prepared for a massive kingdom assignment, and a divine assignment requires a watchman who is fully awake and perfectly aligned. This is the profound moment of revelation that heaven promised you. The heavy dread you feel about tomorrow is a complete illusion. The Monday horror is a carefully manufactured smokescreen designed entirely by the enemy. He wants you to brace for a disastrous impact so you completely miss the massive door swinging open. You have been looking at the intense spiritual resistance as a clear sign to stop moving forward. But heaven says it is the ultimate confirmation of your arrival. You are standing at the exact epicenter of a massive timeline split. God is literally branching your path away from endless struggle and generational bondage. The enemy is attacking your mind today because your absolute alignment tomorrow will break his grip forever. He needs you to carry the exhausted frequency of survival into a room that absolutely requires the authority of a king. You must refuse to make that wicked agreement. Your long season of playing the victim is permanently over. What they did to you in the past was meant to destroy your confidence and silence your voice, but it only fortified your inner architecture for this exact moment of elevation. You survived the brutal wilderness, and now you are holding the sacred keys to the next dimension of your life. What I am about to show you is going to connect this exact spiritual battle with a physical reality. It will finally explain a massive truth about your life that nothing else has answered. Pay close attention to what follows. We must ground this profound spiritual revelation right now. Why does this specifically matter for you on this quiet Sunday evening? Because a heavy spiritual mandate requires a physical vessel capable of actually holding it. The dense fog in your mind and the heavy exhaustion in your bones are not spiritual failures. They are the clear symptoms of a blocked receiver. You are the watchman. Your spirit is entirely willing and deeply ready to serve the highest good. But the physical instrument you use to navigate this world has been heavily suppressed by the chaotic noise around you. When the receiver is severely jammed, the clearest divine signal still sounds like absolute static. You must understand who you truly are after hearing this truth. You are not a broken person trying to fix a ruined life. You are a powerful celestial being operating a physical mind that needs profound restoration before the new week begins. There is something I said near the beginning of this message that I must return to now. I asked you to hold a very specific question about what was taken from you at the neural level. The answer to that profound question is exactly where this message is going. A team of brilliant neuroscientists led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York found the exact mechanism. They looked at the human mind through a completely different lens. They built their work upon the Nobel Prize-winning research of Dr. Roger Sperry from 1981. His groundbreaking split-brain research proved a massive truth about our design. The two hemispheres of your brain were perfectly created to operate in total synchronization. This is known as whole brain activation. It is the physical foundation of your God-given creative genius, and it is the exact state where profound synchronicities naturally occur in your daily life. 98% of children operate freely in this brilliant state of synchronized power, but fewer than 1 in 1,000 adults manage to maintain it. I need you to hear this truth clearly. This is not a personal failure on your part. The relentless stress of modern society systematically suppresses this whole brain activation. The exhausting lifestyle of survival actively shuts down the very frequency you need to fulfill your highest purpose. Your spiritual gifts were never lost. The physical receiver was simply buried under years of chronic interference and emotional trauma. But this highly synchronized state can be fully restored without years of strenuous effort. A woman from California described exactly what it felt like before she found this path. She had tried everything her spiritual community suggested. She believed the beautiful words she was taught, but she could not feel the reality behind them in her own daily life. After 10 days of using this specific protocol, she said, a massive channel finally opened. It was not because she tried harder or pushed herself to the limit. It was simply because the receiver had been repaired. A man from Texas experienced the exact same shift. He had been holding his family together for years, while his own sharp mind was slowly fading into a blur. He said his earnest prayers felt like talking to a massive brick wall. 2 weeks later, he woke up and described his mind as running on all of what it was supposed to run on. The heavy fog that had been so constant, he stopped registering. It was entirely gone. His divine connection was finally restored to its original brilliance. Dr. Daniel Barone and his brilliant team in New York did something profound. They took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology, and through an intensive refinement process, they turned it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence. It requires exactly 8 minutes of your time every single day. You simply put on your headphones and keep your eyes completely closed. His specialized research team calls it the Genius Switch. It is definitely not just another simple meditation app. It restores the whole brain activation that was your default state in childhood. The Genius Switch is absolutely not meant for everyone. It is for the chosen one who understands that God prepared the mind that must walk into the promise. You have consistently done the heavy spiritual work behind closed doors. You kept returning to the call even when the evidence was completely hidden. Most people will simply scroll past it today because they have accepted the reduced version of their mind as a permanent reality. You are still here because heaven arranged for you to stay. $39 is a real financial commitment. Dr. Barone himself says the access was set as low as it could possibly go. His colleagues believe $500 is a completely reasonable level for this clinical technology. A specialized in-home machine runs around $7,000. In-person clinical sessions run $300 an hour. He removed everyone in the middle, so people who cannot fly to New York could still easily reach this. It was originally released to the public at $49, but on the exact page below, the access is only $39. This includes 4 specific bonuses designed to remove physical blockages and restore proper stewardship over your daily life. And the protection provided to you is absolute. Every single cent returns to you if it does not work as promised. You can listen 1 time, or you can listen 80 times. The ironclad money-back guarantee remains completely active forever. Every single week, the synchronization stays disrupted is another week of unnecessary struggle. What heaven has arranged moves through a receiver operating far below its designed capacity. The divine provision already placed near you becomes clearly visible in the synchronized state, but it remains completely hidden from your view while you are in the partial state. What is coming tomorrow deserves the absolute full version of you. The only question is whether you arrive at the meeting point with the receiver online. If you search for anything that sounds like this exact name, you will definitely find tracks. Dr. Barone and his team studied those counterfeit tracks carefully. Most had absolutely no neural sync technology embedded in them at all. The specific mechanism is what makes the actual difference. The direct page is the only verified source to secure this access. The link in the description below and in the pinned comment points to exactly where his team made it available. It is not available anywhere else on the internet. You can read every single detail on their secure page before making any decision. The physical tool does not ever replace God. It does not replace your daily obedience. What God is doing inside you is not conditional on any physical tool, but a tool that restores the receiver, gives what God is doing more of what it was designed to land in. This brings us back to the deeper current of your profound calling. Tomorrow is absolutely not a day of horror. Tomorrow is the beautiful beginning of your restored authority. You are the watchman assigned to this specific era, and you are the generational cycle breaker for your entire bloodline. Place your hand on your heart right now. Speak this out loud with me in absolute faith, because your spoken word carries the authority to shift the atmosphere. I completely release the heavy burden of daily survival. I am no longer a victim of the enemy and his endless noise. I am stepping into my divine alignment right now. I receive the clarity that heaven has prepared for my mind. Type "I am ready" in the comments to seal this declaration into your physical reality. Let that simple action be your final agreement with heaven today. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on all notifications. Heaven is not done speaking to you in this critical season, and you absolutely cannot afford to miss the next prophetic instruction coming in the next 72 hours. If this message brought peace to your exhausted spirit, I invite you to sow a small seed of faith today. Use the super thanks button to support this ministry. Your generous seed keeps this light shining for other chosen ones. Share this exact message with someone who is struggling in the dark today. Someone in your life is one minor distraction away from completely missing their divine assignment. They desperately need to hear this profound truth before Monday arrives. You are divinely protected from the attacks of the enemy. You are deeply loved and cherished by the Father. Step into the new week with absolute power and unshakable confidence. The battle is already won in the unseen realm.